today's video, I will be doing a review slash tutorial on this Tarte Showstopper makeup palette. I just picked this up while I was in California a couple weeks ago. If you didn't know or don't follow me on like Instagram or anything like that, I will leave the links to my Instagram and Twitter down below. I was in California for a couple weeks. My husband just came home from deployment, so we went to California to visit family, and we were there for 2 weeks. So the past 2 weeks worth of videos were all pre-recorded because I didn't want to miss my uploading schedule while I was out of town. So if you didn't know, now you know. So while I was in California, I picked up this palette and I'm super excited about it. I haven't really dabbled much in Tarte. I have some lip products from them and a blush, but I've never tried their eyeshadows. I've never tried, really much of their face powders except for that one blush that I have. So yeah, I've been using it for the past 2 weeks and I have some opinions about it and I wanted to share them. If you are only here just to see the tutorial, then I will put the time right here so you can just fast forward. If you're not really interested in my opinion about this or my little review, I totally understand. You just want to get to the makeup, that's cool. So you can go ahead and fast forward and my feelings won't be hurt, I promise. So this retails for $40. You can buy it at Ulta, you can buy it at Tarte's website, Sephora. I got mine at Sephora. So in here, you get the palette, beautiful, and this little insert that kind of gives you some ideas on different looks, workday or soiree. Ooh. So there's that. So here is the palette. The front is kind of like this snakeskin sort of texture, and it has gold on the back. Very pretty. I thought that this was really nice for traveling since I was out of town, and I definitely will take this the next time I travel because I love to have multiple things in one sort of palette, like a blush, a bronzer, a highlight, that sort of thing. So when you open it up, you get this plastic insert that has the names of all the different shades of the blush and the highlight and the bronzer and the eyeshadows. So this is what this beautiful thing looks like. So in here you have the highlight, a bronzer, a full-size blush, and then 6 eyeshadows. Now something I thought was really interesting was the full-size blush is actually a bit more than a full-size blush because the blush, it says on the back here, is 0.21 ounces. And this is a full-size blush. This is Tarte's Exposed Amazonian Clay Blush. It's like the same thing, just a different color as what's in the palette. And this is 0.20 ounces. So you get like a pinch more. I have this, solo blush, but it is less pigmented than this one. I don't know what that means, because I don't have other Tarte blushes to compare them to, but the one in here is extremely pigmented. And it's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous blush, and it really does last a long time on the cheeks. I've never worn my makeup for 24 hours, so I can't testify to that, but the blush in here is more pigmented than my single blush, which is interesting. And then it has the Park Avenue Princess bronzer, which is a really nice bronzer. It's a little like warm and reddish undertone for my particular taste, but I do enjoy it. I think that it is very beautiful. I think that it blends really well and looks really nice on the face. I'm excited to use this for when I'm a little bit more tan. I'm a pinch fair right now. Which is silly since I just spent 2 weeks in sunny California, and I live in Texas, but I'm pale, okay? And then this highlight is super intense. It is like a white, like pearl highlight, which I stick to more of like the warmy kind of like gold champagne highlights, and this one's definitely a more like fair. If you're fair, if you are, like a lighter shade than me in skin tone, I think that you would absolutely love this highlight because it is so just bright and shiny like all the stars in the sky. But so there's the 3 face powders that you get in the palette. Very pigmented, super blendable. They last a long time on the face. I really dig that. Okay, so now moving on to my opinion about the eyeshadows. I think that the collection of eyeshadows in this palette are very beautiful. I think that the colors are very pretty, but I don't particularly, I feel like it's lacking just a little bit. You only get one matte shade, which is this shade right here, which is the shade You're a Natural. And it is a gorgeous transition shade. It's kind of like a neutral toned light brown, and it's super pretty in the transition to, like, you know, build it up and create that kind of shadow in the crease. It's a very, very pretty color, but this palette only has that one matte shade. So, I mean, you can also use the bronzer, and then I have done that a few times to add a little bit extra depth in the crease. I particularly don't like adding shimmer to my crease. I like to just build up with mattes and then add shimmer on the lid. So I was a little bummed when I found out that there was only one matte color in this palette. This dark brown shade, which is Dim the Lights, is intensely pigmented. It's like kablam. And this is almost matte, but it does have the like ever so gentle bit of glitter in it, or shimmer I should say. It's not like chunky glitter or anything. But this is also a really nice, like these shadows are really nice. They're very blendable. I have this Dim Light shade in the outer corner just to add a little depth to the look. But I wish that this was just straight matte. That way there'd be like a little bit more versatility to this palette. So then we have 4 shimmer shades that are just gorgeous. They're really good for like all over the lid shades. So today, all over the lid, I have this one, which is Go for the Gold. I have this all over the inner corner and the lid. And this is definitely something that's more of like a subtle kind of gold shade, but when I added Max Fix Plus to it, or if you don't have that, you can use eye drops. It definitely intensified the gold color. Very pretty, very buttery. These are all very buttery, soft shades. Then over here we have Showstopper Copper Pigmented. This would be another really, really gorgeous shade if it were matte. Like the tone of this one is super pretty. This would be really pretty for like doing warm smoky eyes, like doing this all over the lid with a little bit of this like on the outer corner. Super, super pretty. Then we have Steal the Scene, which is this bad boy right here. Super pretty for more like cool toned looks. It's kind of like a gray meets like cool toned purple shade. Very, very pretty. Like if you did this all over the lid with like a pop of silver in the middle, that would be so pretty. Ideas. And then the last shade in here is Rose to the Top, which is probably my favorite because it's like a rose gold type of shade. Has a lot of like different like kind of reflex in it. This would be so beautiful all over the lid. And just like a matte warm brown run through the crease. Some nice like fluffy lashes. Oh, that would be so beautiful. So those are all the swatches and my little 2 cents about each one. I'm really happy that I just decided to get this and to play with more of Tarte's products. I think that this is a beautiful palette. Like I said, I think that this would be really lovely for traveling. I don't know about you, but when I travel, I like way overpack. Like I bring enough makeup to last a year. I mean, I just can't help myself. But it would be nice to have more things like this that have your basic face powders plus some eyeshadows. I mean, I know you can just pop some stuff into a Z palette, but you know, not everybody has like multiple pans of product and Z pellets available for travel. It's nice that Tarte came out with this that has everything all in one. So if you weren't a psychopath like me and you knew how to control yourself and pack lightly, you could just throw this in your makeup bag plus a couple of lipsticks, eyeliner, mascara, and then you'd be good to go. Like, that would be easy peasy. Obviously, I don't have that kind of self-control, but I mean, I'm really glad that I have this now for the next time that I go out of town. So that completes the review portion of this video. So if you want to see how I got all of this makeup on my face, then just keep watching. Okay, so let's get started. So I already have my eyebrows done and kind of my base, like the foundation, the concealer and powder and all that stuff. Now let's crack into this bad boy. Oh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. All right. Want to get started? Let's get started. So first I'm going to take this shade called You're a Natural on my favorite Wet n Wild crease brush. And I'm just going to focus that right in the crease from inner to outer corner, just buffing that in and building up the intensity to kind of like a darker shade that I prefer, and make sure to blend out those edges. Now I'm going to take this dual-ended Soho brush and the color Showstopper Copper, and I'm focusing that lower in the crease and a little bit on the outer corner. And doing the same thing, just building up that color to the intensity that I like, and then going back in after I like smack myself in the face, and then blending it out with my crease brush. Now I'm going to take the shade Go for the Gold, and I'm going to take this on a concealer brush by the company Marsk, and I'm just going to first pat that all over the lid, and then I'm going to take Max Fix Plus and then spray my brush, and then do the exact same thing with like shimmery shades or glitter shades using Fix Plus or eye drops if you don't have Fix Plus. Really just intensifies the it intensifies the intensity. Wow, that was so profound, Stephanie. It just makes it more intense. There we go. Now I'm going to take the shade Dim the Lights on a Mikasa E230 and then just focus that on the outer corner and just add a little bit of depth, and then add that on the lower lash line as well. Just smoke it out just a pinch. Now I'm going to take the highlight in this palette, which is Champagne Pink, and I'm going to put that just on the flat eyeshadow brush and then focus that on the brow bone and then also the inner corners as well. Now, since this is a really like bright highlight, I decided to start off with highlighting my face instead of doing what I normally do and do like, you know, the bronzer and the contour and the blush and then the highlight. I wanted the highlight to be first, just to make it look a little bit more natural. And I'm also putting that on the tip of my nose as well as the bridge, and then on the Cupid's bow as well. Now I'm going to take the Park Avenue Princess bronzer and my new Holy Grail bronzer brush. This is by Sony Kashuk, and it came in like in a contoured set, and it's just like the greatest bronzer brush of life. I like can't stop using it. Oh my gosh, I love it. So I'm just applying this bronzer all over the outer edges of my face, and I'm also contouring with it as well. Remember to hit the hairline and underneath the jaw as well. Now I'm going to take the blush, and on this Wet n Wild blush brush, and this blush is called Fame. Oh, I feel like I just said blush 1,000 times. Blush, blush, blush. And I'm just applying that to the apples of the cheeks and kind of swooping it back and just blending it in with that highlight and bronzer color. Now quickly running over everything with my Duo fiber brush like I always do, just to make sure everything is all blended and mushed together beautifully. And that completes this tutorial. I really hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, then please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. I put out new videos 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon Texas time. So please check out the description box below where I'll list everything that I used and mentioned, of course. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!